Hello, guys. Thanks for joining us today. Today we'll be answering your questions that you submitted previously and that you will write to chat now. We have four more or less experienced developers. Let me present everyone to you. First is Oleg Zheleznov. He's one of the main, he's a main driver of the MGC school. He has a lot of experience working as a Scrum Master and team leader in Java. The second window is Alexey Yermachonok. He is less experienced Java developer, one of the core contributors to MGC School too.
Hello.
The third window, Igor Rubanovich, the core driver of a big MGC community. Team leader too, big IT manager. We are really happy to have him here today. And fourth window, it's me. I hope if you're watching Light Talks, you know me already. I have experience working as a software developer and a bit of performance analyst. We have a bunch of questions that you have submitted before this event. We will answer all of them. And if you ask your questions in the chat, we will try to address them as early as possible if they are on topic. Let's probably jump straight to the first question. The first question is, which books do you recommend to improve our theoretical knowledge in Java? Igor?
Sure. Thank you, Neil. Let's remind. I want to remind that I have experience when I was changed my profession and became a junior Java developer. And the first book I've read was Shield Java 8. That's all. I guess it's enough, because if you want to code, to be a programmer, you must write code. And while you're reading the book, you will not receive any experience yet. Because you have Google, you have Stack Overflow, and a lot of services. For me, book is it's a book, not more than something else. And a lot of needed information you can find in the internet. So, guys, if you're going to be a Java developer, please not concentrate on and don't look for don't know, silver book, silver button that you just only read and understand Java at all. No, you need to code and of course read correct and good information from internet. And if you will find some friend, somebody who will help and guide you through hard and technical challenges, it will be more useful for you. For example, in the MGC school, I believe you can find such kind of mentors. But of course, exist a lot of good books, Clean Code, for example, and I like algorithms book to read, because it's helpful. But it's not.
Can we mention the author of the Clean Code? So for our students to search for that book.
Uncle Bob.
Yeah, I think the Google will understand it. I will personally add a book on test-driven development by the inventor of this approach, Ken Beck. I think it's a great book to understand what TDD is about, but I totally agree that you need a hands-on experience of coding to become a good programmer. Alexei, anything to it?
Yeah, I would like to mention that probably for some guys like me who had some some kind of a solid background, let's say, when they started learning Java. I mean, solid background in programming. Java docs could be an ultimate source of truth if you are capable of reading and understanding them. I mean, you already have some basic understanding of algorithms, of clean code, of object-oriented programming, etc. um, you should be good with Java docs. And I would also like to mention that, well, software engineering is not only about programming, so there's also mm, one thing I would recommend to at least read and try to understand to each junior, which is called Scrum Guide. This is the methodology which is applied in most of the teams you will work in. And well, I doubt that you will understand it completely, but at least you will get acquainted with some terminology and get some ideas of how software engineering processes looks like.
Okay, thank you. I sent the names of 2 books and the authors to chat. Okay, anyone wants to add something, or we can go to the second question?
I may briefly add that books are great for the beginning, but as Igor said, that book is a roadmap. You see some new technology, not new, some technology described in the book, and your second step is to implement it. You're starting writing it on according to the book what you have read. And also I may add that there are lots of books, and it depends on you which type of books do you prefer. Just start one. If you don't like the style how it is written, just select another one and find your book. But again, it will give you a roadmap, and then you will switch from the books to the documentation and to the description of each framework or library to use. Definitely reading then coding. They should be always in pair. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Let's go to the second question. Could you share roadmap to become a junior web developer on Java? Alec, I think it's a question for you.
Yeah. Well, I would like to say that there is an mgc.school, which is an ultimate source of truth uh, as it comes to roadmap how to become a junior Java developer. So basically, I believe there should be some stages you should pass, like get basic knowledge of computer science, get basic knowledge of Java syntax, Java core, uh, collections, algorithms, etc. You should also get to know what is web actually, not necessarily modern. I mean, all the web is based on the same technologies, networks, TCP/IP stack. Uh, I would say that it is also crucial to understand how they works, how it works in Java. I mean, servlets. Many people may get distracted by this thing, but actually, this is something which all modern frameworks are based on, and you should understand how it works inside. Uh, when it comes to frameworks, actually, there's also a lot of them to learn to be able to perform on the projects in some company, like Spring. There's also some alternatives for it, like Micronaut. There's some, I would say, data access frameworks like GPA, like Hibernate. uh, there's a lot of things going around them. I would not like to dive into a lot of details at this point. And one more thing I would like to mention is that probably last 3 or 4 years, I believe, the requirements for Java engineers became more strict, maybe. Uh, and now I believe that junior should also learn basic concepts of cloud. I mean, it could be any cloud, Google, Amazon, Azure. So anything will work. They are working using the same, like the same entities. Yeah. There's also like CI/CD processes, which you would also have to deal on the projects. And I would say that for many Java engineers, it is crucial to be either Tshape or M-shape engineers. And this is something you should start with from the very beginning. I mean, there's also UI frameworks like React, um, which you should also get acquainted with. At least you will deal with some bugs with which comes from UI, and you should understand how actually like front end and back end communicate with each other, and anything else. Yeah.
I'm sorry, because a lot of things, and here the main idea of Java development, it's challenging. It's not easy way. So colleagues, if you in the very beginning think think, are you ready for all these challenges? Yeah. So you will need to know only Java, and you will became a Java programmer. No. So I'm not sure, but Oleg, maybe I miss it. You don't mention it Git. Yeah. One thing that
Yeah.
in the
So
very beginning on each project you will need to use this knowledge and communicate with your teammates, deliver your code without any issues. Yeah, and without knowledge of Git, it's impossible. Yeah, but it's
yeah.
one part, one technology, and we're talking about all others.
And when it comes actually to work in the team, there's also one more important thing, which is soft skills. I
Oh,
mean,
mhm.
you should be able to play in the team. You should be able to deal with some other people who are working on the same project, on the same code base. And this will lead many of you to some conflicts. This is inevitable, so be ready for it. Be ready that there will be various personalities in your career which you will have to deal with. There will be various processes, various team structures, various customers. They may have different requirements, and you should be like agile and flexible enough to be able to follow all the requirements, to learn, to help learn other guys in the team. So make
but
sure
but
that
but
you
this is
are able to work with people and communicate with them.
yeah, and this part with help for others, perhaps on middle level, because for junior it's hard to take knowledge and share with somebody because you don't have a lot of time for
Yeah,
normal life.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
I would like to summarize, if you don't mind. If you got scared by the list of technologies that Alec mentioned, don't be scared. As a junior developer, you don't have to know them very deep. So you don't have to understand how to configure cloud projects, how to deploy it, etc. Just basic information. If you don't, if you didn't write down the list of all the technologies, you can open mgc.school. We have a list of our stages, and each of them describes what technologies are studied on that stage. And basically, all the technologies listed here are really needed for the modern developer, and you can just go one by one studying them. But yeah, don't forget about soft skills. They're really essential.
And Daniel, maybe somebody who watching us have questions. I guess we can remind that you can put questions in the chat, and we can answer if something not clear. So colleagues who watching us, please use chats and ask us. We can answer something additional.
Yeah, but no questions in the chat by now.
Yeah. By now, but that's why I'm highlighting.
Yeah,
Chat is
okay.
available.
Anything to add on the question? Okay, let's go to the third question. What tasks should a junior developer be able to do when he joins a project? So what is a routine of a junior developer? Alexei, maybe you can
I
elaborate
can
on that
start.
question?
We can make a little circle with the first question. So first of all, when you will join the project, be ready that half maybe or some part of the project will be totally not understandable for you because there would be some technologies which you never met, never read about them, and actually what you are doing during your preparation to become a junior developer and what you will do all the next time, you will be studying something new. So first of all, you need to study quick, understand quick what is used and how it is used in the project, and be able to implement these frameworks, features. It might not necessarily be some popular frameworks like, I don't know, New Relic, for example, or Spring even. It may be something written specially on this project and used there as a library. So be ready to read, study, and do. So, like an example, Oleg mentioned React. It is a front-end tool. It is JavaScript, but you may join the project where 10% of your time you will need to understand why a front-end is sending you wrong requests. In this case, you may just enter find some React tutorials, go through them, understand basic concepts, how it works, what is components, and then start debugging its application on your real project. So studying is very essential part. And of course, there are some usual tasks which may be assigned to the junior developers, like, for example, debug an application and find out where error is happening, or cover the application with unit tests. It is very trivial junior tasks which may be assigned to you in the very first weeks, so you could understand how project works and be familiar with it. So be ready for these tasks also. Know how to debug, for
Yeah,
example.
I remember my first task. It was exactly creating unit tests for the code that experienced programmers wrote. Yeah, it brings a lot of understanding of the project. You not just read how it works, but you understand the internal structure that you just cannot understand without working with it. So this task may be a bit boring, more boring than you expected it to be, but I think it's essential that you work on tests. Oleg, Igor, anything to it?
Yes, I can add that one of the how to say task, but not task, but one of the junior feature is reading. Read automatically. What I mean, you should automatically read logs and be attentive. Attentively read logs, because from my experience, when I see Java junior developers in my team, mostly them not attentively reading logs. Sometimes they don't understand that in the logs can be found a lot of answers on questions. So please try to improve your debug skills. So if if you're already junior or you are on the way and you are learning, so please learn well how to debug, how to read logs, because you can Google and find some answers there. And it's attention. Without this it will be hard, because some semicolon somewhere miss it, and your web application, your code not working, and you spending 8 hours, 10 hours, and in the end you will found one semicolon. What? But yeah, you will win, of course, with help of time, but it's all about attention.
Yeah, okay. And from the technical perspective, I'd like to say that the main thing that you have to know is Java core. If you're a Java developer, all these clouds, they are very important. But if you just joined a project, no one would probably send you to a task where you have to work with the cloud. So yeah, Java core is very basic, and probably the framework that the project works with. Usually it's a Spring, so you have to know how to basically work with it, maybe without digging into too many details. It will come later when you attend some conferences, watch the recordings, etc.
I would
Oh,
also
yeah.
say, yeah, sorry. I would also say that even more crucial skill is English. Not just
Yeah.
Java core, since there is a high chance that your customer speaks English to communicate with you and your team, and the task which you will be given will be described in English. So be sure that you can at least read and understand it well enough, be able to understand all the details, technical information in English, since I believe that probably many of you are learning programming using your native languages. English is very, very crucial. And yeah,
Yeah.
be able to communicate in it. Most likely you will have to speak.
And knowing English opens you to new educational content that you cannot learn without it. And I think I have known a lot of great developers whose bottleneck was English. So yeah, don't forget about it. Thanks, Alec. Anything to add on this question?
Small note, actually. Alec reminded me about it. So as a junior developer, please don't try to focus on something you must do on your own. It is very important to remember, and it is a very common problem when somebody is just joining the project and trying to show that he is a perfect developer and can do everything. But then he or she will just stuck with some issue which may be solved asking one question in the team, because it is some team's knowledge, or somebody forgot to put it into the onboarding guide. So be reasonable. Have take you some time to solve a problem on your own, but don't forget to ask your question in case you see that it is a bit complicated. I don't know, hour a day, but after this, as a junior, you can always come to your team. If you are working by Scrum, you can ask it on daily and ask for advice. It is a teamwork. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
great advice. Thank you. Let's proceed to the next question. The next question is how to get the very first job as a Java developer nowadays? Is it better to take some internship or to apply for Java junior positions directly? A bit more complicated question. Does anyone have thoughts on it?
It's hard. It's very hard question in nowadays because of different locations, yeah, and some restrictions from different regions. All our experience is for time that was before, yeah, and but I guess the way will be the same. You will have more restrictions, but the way the same. You're creating your CV on LinkedIn, on some Russian, maybe I don't know which resources they have. Some resources. One of the best is LinkedIn, and you are trying to contact HRs. Send for them. Send your CV in the companies. Make 100, maybe 1,000 uh, requests in different companies, and try uh, to start making your own blog when you will discuss or your minds about Java technologies or something like this. So you should be highlighted. You should be somehow show that you are Java addicted person. who keen on programming, and any company that will hire you will win in any project. So do your best. Try to contact as more companies, HRs as you can. Not wait. So, for example, you sending email with request in one company, some company, and you waiting 3-4 days while they answering. No, just do. In 1 hour, 1,000 emails produce, because it's hard in nowadays to do this.
Just be careful not to be banned for spamming.
Oh, maybe you will learn after that email marketing, and you will learn how to avoid this, because it's just rules. To be banned, it's banned. This guy can be banned. Guys who don't know how it works. Mm, It's described in the blogs.
If you have a choice between internship or Java Junior position directly, I would really judge on the skills that you have. So if you are sure that you can be a junior developer, I would personally choose a junior position. But if I wasn't that sure, I would probably go for internship because there you have more time to study, to cover your theoretical gaps, and later come to the project prepared. But yeah, nowadays it's much more difficult, and it's really only your choice. Anything to add, guys?
Yeah, I may also add my opinion that in case I would have a choice, I would definitely prefer Java Junior's position. But in the question we have uh, to apply, so it is like not
No,
approved
so
yet. So
for now you don't
I
have a choice. Yeah.
just grab your chance, any chance you have. You may reach, you may take. If it is a position as a Java Junior, take it. If it is internship, take it. It will be, as Igor said, you need to prepare a CV. It will be additional line in your CV, and each additional line in your CV shows your experience. Courses are great. Schools, especially ours, are just beautiful and priceless. But each production experience which you may get will add value to your CV. So don't hesitate to try everything you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, and any such kind of to your CV, making your chance to get your first job higher, because you're getting experience, and HRs see that you are working on this, and for you it will be more easier to go through technical interview, because it's experience. When you're learning, you just learning it's and without deep understanding. When you're trying to use your knowledge on practice, you understand it's better, and more easy to answer on any question. It's about collections, so it's about hash code, a lot of things. And you're learning it's just by video or by reading books, just like interesting story. And when you try to do it by yourself, yeah, more convenient for your brain to understand this.
Yeah, I would also say do not give up if you get, I don't know, 10 rejects from the HRs. Just continue sending. I have heard about a lot of people who sent, well, maybe a dozen requests, got rejected, and decided that IT is not for them. Don't give up.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
Don't give up, because
especially now, considering
mhm,
all the firing campaigns in big six IT companies. Uh, I mean, like Facebook, Apple,
mhm.
Amazon, Microsoft, all of them are firing people, but I believe that this is a temporary, and next year they will start hiring again, and the whole industry will start hiring again. So you will definitely find your chance. Just don't give up and take any opportunity you have.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's probably go to the next question. Guys, I would kindly ask you to subscribe to our channel and press your likes. It really helps us. Thanks a lot for those who already did it. Okay, so the next question is, what technologies outside Java should a junior Java developer know? I think we partially covered this question.
Yeah.
Okay, let me just briefly go through the technologies again. Very important is cloud, and I would say CI/CD pipelines like Jenkins, SimCity, or whatever. Yeah, definitely Git. Without it, you cannot really work in a team. A bit less important, but still very important, basic understanding of UI tools like React or Angular or Vue.js or whatever. Guys, what else?
SQL.
SQL,
Oleg.
yeah.
Oleg, please add details. It's your.
So
Mhm.
SQL databases, basically you should be able to work with databases, performing some basic queries. CRUD, I mean create, read, update, delete. This would be a huge benefit if you can take advantage of the database engines and perform some more advanced things like execution plans, analysis, like creating views, like subselects, etc. Since all of these features are heavily used on any project, I mean, not only Java, any, I believe that any language you will have to learn databases. And except of databases and SQL itself, you should also get to learn how to use uh, database management systems. It will be based, it may vary based on the database used on your current project or in your some pet projects. Never mind. That could be Oracle, that could be Microsoft SQL, that could be MySQL. So in anything, and each of them has some specifics. So just learn one or two with it specific features, and it will be a huge benefit for you. I mean, you could probably start with Postgres and maybe MySQL as a simplest one, in my opinion.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, and we need to add here that frameworks knowledge must have. I mean, Spring, yeah, GPA, and Hibernate, for example, if you're talking about databases, because of course GDBC should be your first steps. However, you will not face with GDBC on your real projects. But I'm not sure. Some projects
I would not say
exist.
so, since it's
Yeah.
like 6 months since I left the project where I was for 7 years with GDBC, with plain
Really?
GDBC, I mean. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, me too.
Cool.
I in August left a project where we wrote SQL queries, but I really liked it. I like it even more than Hibernate. Just for
Yeah,
me, it's more
that's
convenient.
awesome. That's awesome,
So
actually.
it's
I
a
don't really
answer.
like Hibernate, neither Hibernate nor GPA. I really like writing SQL queries. It gives you more control and more understanding on what's going on. There's no magic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's totally agree. It's more accurate and sometimes can avoid some strange issues and hours of debugging. But we're talking about what should junior know and yeah,
yeah,
GDBC and
and
GPA.
Hibernate. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I would also like to mention Tshape programmer that Oleg already mentioned. I think not everyone knows what Tshape is. Yeah, it's basically when you have a very wide range of skills, when you just know what the tool is, and you have one or two skills with a very deep understanding. So for you now, your this very deep thing should be probably Java, but the wider the upper part of T is, the better it is for you.
Yeah.
Okay, anything to add on this question?
Yeah, maybe again a small note from my side that each time you may go from the other direction. Yes, you may just find, for example, you have a company you would like to apply to. So you are opening its open positions and reading through the description of these positions what they would like to have in their developers, and just updating these skills again, trying to study fast the basics of the skills, and then also trying to understand how suitable are this knowledge in the market. Don't forget about this, because some companies may use really old technologies. And don't forget to make some pet projects with the usage of these technologies to keep them on your Git. And yeah, it will give you experience. It will give you this Tshape skill metrics, and it will give you some knowledge about technologies which are popular on the market.
Yeah, well, one more thing which I believe we forgot to mention, that's not a technology itself, but more like a concept, but it is also crucial. I believe that in each and every interview, the interviewer will ask you about REST. So this is also something you should learn. This is an approach which is not Java specific. I mean, almost each and every uh, technology service you use in your daily life. I mean, when you order something via Uber, it is definitely like a client server communication, and it is done via REST, and you should understand how it works and how it is supposed to work. So this is not a Java specific, and this is something which is crucial for you.
Yeah, some kind of patterns, REST. Oh, it's a Java. What is a Java developer? You should know Java and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and go.
I think developers on every language should know it's his language and
Really?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, no, no, no. I don't agree because I'm working with front-end developers. From my point of view, it's easier to do the job for them than for us. Yeah, they're talking that a lot of things changing all time. However, they just should know JavaScript, and that's all, because React, Node.js, yeah, JavaScript.
It's different frameworks, a lot of different libraries. But
Yes.
yeah, probably backend developers should know more than front-end developers, because all these microservices, databases, clouds. Yeah, but I would totally stand on my point here that front-end development has a lot of difficult things that you don't see when you
Any
start learning it. Yeah.
Daniel, any have a lot of difficulties. However, if we're talking about Java backend development, .NET development, yes, we see that a lot of things I mean, Java developers should to learn. And for example, we have one of the questions about time to drill in the profession in Java developer. And if for front end, it will be how much time? Maybe half of year will be enough. For Java developer, it's maybe years. Depends, of course,
Yeah,
on the person.
I would like probably to bring some clarity. Front end is not easier than back end. That's just completely different types of tasks you will face. And when it comes to backend, that's more like probably algorithmical tasks, data flow tasks. I mean, some optimizations. If you will work on the project with millions of users each and every day, you will definitely face some optimization tasks. And front end is more about visualizing all the data, keeping the state of the user interaction with the interface, etc. It also has a lot of challenges, but well, we just cannot compare since the nature of work is different in backend and front end, I would say. This note just for some probably of our colleagues from front end who is watching us.
Yeah.
I think they have already disconnected. Okay, let's probably go to the next question. What are the pros and cons of working from home compared to working from office?
You should not go to the office, and then you can work. Well, it's pros.
Yeah, okay. So you don't have
So
to
in office you will work
spend
8
time.
hours, from home 10, because you don't need to go on the job. I'm joking. It's a joke.
Yeah, okay. I'm a person who works from home from the very beginning of COVID, and I don't want to return to office, and I can explain myself. Yeah, first, I lived not really far from the office, but I still had to spend 40 minutes every day to get to office and back. So it's just a lot of time. I calculated how many working days I have each year and how much time do I spend just traveling. The second thing is that at home you can easily switch between tasks. I mean, if I don't have lunch and I have to cook it, I can take 30 minutes from the working day, well, shift it to the end of the working day and cook whatever I need. And yeah, at home you can present your screen and your camera with whoever you want on the background. And probably from the disadvantages of working from home, I would say that yeah, it's much more difficult to differentiate your home from work. So you don't really switch. You don't really turn off your work, and you working all the day. And also, if you work with people from your location, you don't see them often. But for me, it's not really an issue because my team is located in 5 or 6 different countries, and I wouldn't see them in the office too. Okay, guys, any more pros or cons?
I would say some of the concerns like working the whole day, at least I was able to find how to handle it. Just find a place where you work and nothing else. I mean, I do have a separate office in my apartment, which is supposed to be only like a working space. I'm not spending much time here, and when I think it's enough for today, I'm just leaving without getting back, so that I would not spend a lot of time to work.
Yeah. Also,
And
we have a
well, we forgot to mention the. I mean, I think the best pros of working from home, you do not have to commute. If you live like an hour away from office each and every day, you will save 2 hours of your life. You could like sleep these 2 hours. You can spend them
or
to
study.
yeah, to
Oh, yeah,
study, to
yeah.
spend some time with your family, with your friends, and this is really really good thing.
Yeah, we have a comment on this question. If you have children, you will be forced to work from office, but if not, you may not have compelling reason to work from office, but sometimes changing working location may be refreshing. I totally agree with changing working location, but I have many colleagues who have children and they work from home. It may be not that convenient for those who work with them if during a meeting a child starts to cry. But yeah, I think if you can spend time with your children during the day, maybe an hour here, half of an hour here, it's great. And I don't have children, but I think I wouldn't exchange it to working from office.
Yeah, I totally agree. For example, my kid near near me, you see him, you see him.
Oh,
He's
hello,
asking
kid.
what I'm doing. So, but depends on kids, depends on behavior. So yeah, they can cry, they can ask you something about some things. But I'm happy that I'm with my kids all day. And when I was working from office, I let's say can say that we saw each other only on weekend. That's all, because early in the morning you're going on the work, and in the end of the day you return. So I don't know. For me, it's a pros that you are with kids working together.
Okay, let's go probably further. We have a
Mhm.
question from the chat. Any suggestions on learning Java cloud technologies? I mean, books, YouTube channels, etc. Guys, any tips?
Oh,
I
yes.
would have come up with Amazon documentation again, as it was for Java books. There's a comprehensive tutorials and well description of the basics of cloud in Amazon. I didn't used to work a lot of with Google or Azure. I assume that there's probably something similar for these clouds. But as for Amazon, you're free to go. I mean, there's a lot of tutorials, a lot of description. Uh, and well, actually, in MJC school, there is a module for cloud. So you will have a chance to learn if you join us.
Yeah. And MGC School YouTube channel, because in the question, which channels you can to suggest? Yes, MGC School, MGC Modern Java Community, uh, producing different videos and learning videos. It's a part of our content, and to be honest, a lot of bloggers in nowadays producing content in simple way. All of the modern bloggers trying to get complex things, complex topics, and make them simple. So just use search in YouTube and choose the blogger who is interesting for you, because a lot of bloggers who producing content, and not of all of them will be interesting for you, but you will find. So yeah, blogs and documentation, and of course your pet project. I don't know, please imagine that you need to solve some issue, you need to develop some web application, and try to use technologies you are learning. It's some kind of gamification when you not only making some kind of tasks, but you're creating your own web application, for example. Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah,
For me,
I
it's my
would.
way. Yeah, please add.
Yeah, I would also add how I studied clouds. I have studied Azure and AWC. I was just preparing for the very basic certification on these clouds. So for Azure, it's AZ. Oh, we have a fifth speaker here. Yeah, for Azure, it's AZ 900, and there is official learning path, official documentation. It's reading, not videos, but I think they cover the very basics of the cloud that you may need. And for the AWS, I have watched videos. They are paid, but on sale you can purchase them for, I think, $11. I bought them on Udemy website. Just Google AWS Cloud Practitioner, and there will be several courses that cover the very, very basics of the cloud: how to register, how to create your virtual machine, how to launch an application. And these courses are not bounded to Java. Actually, I think Azure course is about C#, but it's very easy, so you will definitely be able to understand what's going on. Okay, anything to it? Probably not.
No,
You've described everything.
yeah.
Okay, I think we have time for one more questions. I will give you guys a minute. If you have your questions, please post them in the chat. And if not, I will ask my own question that I would really like to hear the opinion of our speakers on. And yeah, while we are waiting, just minutes of commercial. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, join our school, and join MGC channel. I will post a link to the description if I haven't yet. Yeah, okay, I don't see any questions in the chat, so I will ask my own question. How to track the updates to all popular technologies and how not to fall behind on them? I can explain what I mean. I studied AWS Cloud, I think 2 years ago, and when I opened it recently, there were so many new things in it. I also studied PostgreSQL, opened it some time ago, and so they have a whole bunch of new functions, mainly on JSON, etc. Each technology that we use gets many updates, many new features, and how do you track them, or do you?
For example, we in our, MGC Modern Java community thought about this, how to track, and we decided that we can produce JNews digest, technology digest. When we, our team, our Modern Java community team, searching what currently changed. Yeah, and producing content. So my answer, one of the answers, you can join MGC, or maybe MGC school will collaborate with us, and we will make more news about modern technology stack. And I can say that it's hard to be on track with all technologies. It's impossible to be on track with all technologies because you should improve yourself and spend a lot of time on reading what happens with Java 29, 13, in the future. What still happen with virtual threads, for example. We heard about them maybe 3 years, maybe more, Project Loom, etc. However, it happens, yeah, and you need somehow to understand this. That's why just news digests, technology digests, are more convenient for getting such kind of information.
Yeah, it wasn't planned to be an advertisement of MGC, but I think it fits perfectly. Yeah, I think you're right. I will have to find maybe several blogs that cover all the technologies that I'm currently using. Yeah, it should be it. Oleg, Alexey, anything to add?
I would also like to mention Netflix tech blog. I really like it. Also, I don't really like Netflix, but their tech blog is awesome. And to be honest, I would say that the current state of Java is probably like 50% dependent on the Netflix guys. They are contributing a lot into Spring framework. They are actually developing Java technologies. So this could be like a tip to some resource you can use as a source of knowledge to be up to date with popular technologies. Yeah. But yeah, as mentioned, you have to find some resources you're using, like MGC, like some tech blogs, some probably your local resources on your native language, and to read them like regularly to be sure that you're up to date.
Thank you. Alexey, you wanted to add something?
I may add that just when you will start when you're learning Java, you're trying to find new videos. YouTube's algorithms are definitely trying to advise you something, and it is the end of the year. So definitely in these suggestions, you may see something like top 2022 Java technologies you should know, and what will be the future of Java in 2023. Just you may turn them on and listen on the background, and yeah, that's usually what I'm doing. Okay, I should say that I'm reading J News also, listening for the News also. Yeah, and from all these videos, because we are here because we have digitalization and decentralization of everything, and sources where you can get this info are also maybe different. So you are just on the background listening for all these, getting common names of some technologies, and then reading what are they, and trying to write something second step after the first one, know, and then write something on this technology. Yeah, and that's it.
Okay, thanks a lot for your answers. I think we will be wrapping up here. Yeah, what I wanted to say here, we as MGC School YouTube channel, we are going on vacation till the 13th of January, till our next light talk. See you there. Also, we can definitely repeat that format, maybe with other engineers with different experience and background. So if you guys liked it, please post your questions either here in the comments or to our Slack. We have some posts dedicated to these comments, or you can just write me directly to my messages. And yeah, if we get enough questions, we will repeat this format. Thank you a lot for being with us this year. It was difficult for us, but really interesting. And I hope the next year will be even more interesting and maybe as challenging as this one in terms of YouTube channel. So yeah, thank you again. See you next year, and bye.
Thank you,
Thank
colleagues.
you.
Thank you, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Bye.
Yeah. Bye bye.
Bye bye.